Did you know that savings accounts used to pay interest rates that were higher than inflation? It's true. Look it up. I'm not lying to you. These days, though, interest rates are at rock bottom and earning any sort of return on your cash seems next to impossible. Or is it? In this video, we'll look at high-yield savings accounts versus a CD ladder and see which option might be the best for you to earn more return on your short-term cash. And I don't know where it is where you're watching this, but in here, it's Friday, and that means it's another 5-Minute Friday. Today, we're talking about CDs, more specifically CD ladders, and comparing them to a high-yield savings account. Since it's such an exciting topic, I'm going to try to explain it all in 5 minutes or less. So let's stop wasting time, let's put 5 minutes on the clock, and let's get into it. So right off the top, what is a CD? A CD is a certificate of deposit. It's a product you can buy from your bank or your credit union that's kind of like a savings account, but different in a couple of key ways. A CD will have both a fixed time frame and a fixed interest rate attached to it. So that means when you put your money into a CD, your principal is locked up for that stated time frame, and also you're guaranteed the interest rate that's quoted to you when you open the account. So that leads directly into the next question you might have is, what is a CD ladder? A CD ladder is an investment strategy using CDs of varying maturity lengths where you ladder them so that you always have a CD maturing at set time intervals. The most common form of this is the 5-year CD ladder. Now, in a 5-year CD ladder, you would buy a CD that matures in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, and 5 years. So you have five CDs to begin with, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 years duration. Now, at the end of the first year, your 1-year CD matures. So you take that money at that point, and then you buy another 5-year CD with it. Same the next year. The next year, your 2-year CD will mature. You take the money and interest earned on that, and you buy another 5-year CD. So that way, if something comes up or you change your investment strategy, you always have money coming due each year. Or you can keep laddering this CD out by continually buying another 5-year CD as your shorter maturity CDs mature. Now, the reason you would do this strategy with a CD ladder is because by always having a CD coming due at whatever set interval you choose, you can make sure you're not locked out of the changing interest rates. So if interest rates start to rise and you've got all your money locked up in one 5-year CD, you're going to miss out on those new higher interest rates. But if you have a CD coming due every year, you can reinvest that money into the higher interest rates as they go up. Or if interest rates are going down, you have CDs tied up for 4 or 5 years at a higher interest rate than what they might be today. So the next question you might ask is, Jay, interest rates are at historical lows, they're falling all the time, why would I want to be investing in a CD ladder? And there are actually a couple of reasons that you might want to consider. The first is that your accrued interest is always accessible. So while the principal that you invest into a certificate of deposit is tied up for the length of that specific CD, the interest that you're being paid every month or quarter, however the CD does it, you can withdraw if you want, or you can let it accrue with the CD. Now, because a certificate of deposit is issued by your bank or your credit union, CDs are FDIC insured. That means any money you have in your CDs or your CD ladder is insured by the FDIC up to $250,000. So you don't have to worry about ever losing any of your money to market swings or a scandal involving a CEO or anything like that as you would in the stock market. The third reason you might invest in a CD or a CD ladder, even in a low interest rate environment like we're currently in, is that CD is guaranteed passive income. Once you put your money in the CD, you're guaranteed that interest rate. You are guaranteed those payments every month or quarter without ever having to do a thing. And I know any search across Google or YouTube will tell you everyone is in search of passive income. So, while it may not be the sexiest way to do it, a CD is a form of passive income. Now, the fourth reason you might want to invest in a CD ladder, even in a low and falling interest rate environment, is risk-free return. Now, the 10-year Treasury yield from the US government is commonly referred to as the risk-free rate. Things like your mortgage interest rates and things like this are all based off of this 10-year yield rate. Now, as I'm sitting here today, the 10-year Treasury yield is 0.69%. And many people will tell you that's likely to fall even further before it ever goes up. So if you invest in the 10-year Treasury bond, your money is locked up for 10 years and you'd earn 0.69%. On the other hand, the rates on 5-year CDs right now are about 1.25%. So with a 5-year CD, or even better, if you ladder your CDs, your money is locked up for a much shorter period of time than that 10-year Treasury, and you're earning about double the interest rate. And like I mentioned before, it's all insured by the FDIC up to $250,000, so as long as you're under that amount, it's completely risk-free. Now hold on, I can hear some of you furiously typing away already. But Jay, there is a risk. What about inflation? If inflation goes up and my money is tied up on a CD, I'm losing out to inflation. And that may be true, but that's the advantage of a CD ladder. When you ladder a CD, you always have principal coming due at set intervals. Now, inflation isn't gonna skyrocket, next month. It goes gradually, regardless of what some fearmongers may tell you. So with a CD ladder, you always have a CD coming due that you can then reinvest in another long-term CD should inflation and thus interest rates rise. So now the question becomes, am I better off buying a certificate of deposit, building a CD ladder, or should I just stick to a high-yield savings account? And the answer to that, as with so many things, is it depends. Right now, the interest rates on high-yield savings accounts are just under 1%. I think the average I was seeing was about 0.9, 0.8%. Now, the interest rates you'll get on CDs range from about 1% on a 1-year CD up to about 1.25% on a 5-year CD. So there's not that great of a difference. Now, the only difference is that little extra interest worth it to you to have your principal locked up for that set amount of time versus a high-yield savings account where you can withdraw that money at any point? And I think if we're just talking about your typical savings account or your emergency fund, right now it's probably better to stick with a high-yield savings account. But that doesn't mean I don't think a certificate of deposit or building a CD ladder isn't right for some people. And here are the cases where I think that might be an option for you. If you're someone who already has a healthy savings account, you have, your 6 months to a year worth of expenses saved in a savings account, yet you still have a lot of cash that you don't know what to do with, I think a CD ladder might be a good option if you want to stay a little conservative, hedge your risk from the stock market, and still earn a little bit more interest than you're going to get just holding it in a savings account. Along the same lines, the stock market is at all-time highs. Things seem to be going super crazy every day in the stock market. So if you're thinking, now might not be the time to deploy all the money I want to deploy in the stock market, but I want to earn some more interest while I wait for things to become a little more rational, then a CD ladder might be the right option. You can ladder that money that you want to put in the stock market. You can ladder that money that you have earmarked for the stock market at some point and have some of that coming due at set intervals so you're still able to invest it should things calm down and you think it's a better opportunity to now put your money into the stock market. Another reason you might want to consider a CD ladder is if you're saving for a large purchase that's a couple years down the road. Like if you know you're going to buy a house, but that time frame is 5 to 7 to 10 years down the line, you might not want to risk your house down payment in the stock market. Because, while the stock market generally does go up over the long term, Recessions happen, we can never predict when, where, or how long they'll happen, and the last thing you want to do is lose all that money you saved for a big purchase like a house in the stock market. Yet at the same time, it doesn't make total sense to leave all that money sitting in a savings account. So you can build yourself a CD ladder, earn a little more interest than you would on the savings account, have that safety that you wouldn't have in the stock market, and maybe reach your goal of purchasing that car or house or vacation, whatever, a little sooner. Now, the last reason you might want to consider a CD ladder is just to hedge your risk. You may have your money tied up in the stock market. You may have real estate investments. You may have a business you own. All of these things carry different levels of risk. Yes, it's good to have a savings account. It's also good to have some investments that are on the more conservative side of things. So by building a CD ladder, you give yourself a conservative income-producing investment vehicle without a lot of risk attached to it. So now let's check on the timer. Did I make the 5 minutes? If I did, give this video a thumbs up down below, hit that like button. If I didn't, drop down in the comments, tell me I ramble too long, call me an idiot, do whatever you want. If you got value out of this video, please consider subscribing. I put out new videos every Tuesday, every Friday. I don't want you to miss a single one. Now, if you want to look into what the best rates are for your high yield savings account or the best certificate of deposit rates that are out there right now, I recommend bankrate.com. This is not sponsored, not promotional by them at all in any way. It's just a great resource to always get the best and most up-to-date interest rates so you can make the best decision when you're comparing a CD ladder to a high yield savings account. So that's it for me. If you're not already, go give me a follow on Instagram. It's the best way to connect with me outside of YouTube. I love talking stocks, investments. Feel free to slide into my DMs. I don't mind. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next one. Have a good day. Nope, I didn't tell you what it stood for. Shit. Man, see, we changed topics. I'm rushing to get this one done. I'm f***ing up all over the place. All right. Namaste. So right off the top, what is a CD?